Hey everybody, welcome back to Prepper Junkie. Today on the table we have possibly the best pistol for $200 on the market. Let's get this one going. If you're going to carry a gun, you need a great holster. I personally use betterholsters.com for my concealed carry, for my out the waistband carry, and I use their gun belt also. They have over 450 models in stock, 50 different colors, 100% made in the US of A, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and a lifetime warranty. What more could you ask for? Check out betterholsters.com. All right, folks, as I said, this is quite possibly the best pistol for $200 on the market today. This is the Stoeger STR. It's 9mm. It's a polymer framed striker fire gun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down on the table. We'll take a nice close look up at it. We'll go over the features, things I like and dislike about it, go over a comparison to some of the other guns in the market, and let's see if it's worth the money. All right, so let's take a nice close look up of this pistol. Let's start at the bottom right here. Let's eject the mag. Now, before we actually even get into that, as I said, this model is $200 from Stoeger. You might see it just for a little bit more depending on where you're looking for it, what websites. But there is different packages you can get. You can get the compact version. This is more of a full-size version. You can have ones with an MOS cut out at the top. You can have one with a threaded barrel. Those packages that come with more magazines. This one just comes with the one. This is the base package for the Stoeger STR. So let's go ahead and take the mag out. It is a metal mag, as you can see. It is a 15-round mag. You can see right there. It says made in Italy, so the chances are these are made by Metcar mags, or Metgar mags, which is not a bad thing. They make excellent mags for a lot of company. Can't confirm that. It just says made in Italy, so there's a safe bet that those are made by them. Okay, so you do have these little contours right here, and it's designed so if the magazine is stuck at all when you're ejecting, you can get a little bit of a grip on there on the bottom of that base plate to pull out the magazine. Now moving up to the grip, you do have, these are actually interchangeable back straps, and I'll show you how to change those out in a second. With this, again, the base model only comes with the one back plate, but it's very easy to change these out if you wish to. It's got some very aggressive texturing on the back here. Let me see if I can get you a little bit of close-up. It's got that, and not to sound like a big Nancy, but it does rub a little bit on the hand after a little while of shooting. It's very, very aggressive. Some people might really like that. I'm not against it. It's just something to be aware of. So you have obviously your texturing right here. Now, a lot of people will compare these kind of back straps to the M&P, and then they'll compare this front part that looks very similar to a VP9, which I can definitely see the similarities. It does feel very good in the hand. This is probably the medium back strap. I can get a very nice purchase on there, but if I grip too hard, I can definitely feel these sticking into my hand. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, just something to be aware of. So you do have those very nice grooves with the texturing in there, and you do obviously have a nice sized trigger undercut right here. So again, you can get a really good purchase, and you can see it's got some contouring right here for my thumb to rest on. So very nice design. Obviously, the trigger here looks very similar to a Glock, and it does feel very similar to a Glock when shooting it. You have that safety blade in the center, and then, because if you pull on either side of that trigger, obviously it will not fire. You have to depress that safety. Pull in, so you got some take up, then you've got the break. It does feel very, very, very similar to a Glock trigger. A little bit of let out, and you heard the break right there. And then we have the mag release right here. The nice thing is this is reversible. You can switch it to the other side. So if you're a left-handed shooter, left-hander shooters rejoice, you can switch that over, which is very nice. Moving on up, you can see here we do have the slide lock, slide release, and it functions just fine. It does sit very flush to the frame. So it's, you know, as you can probably see here, it's very, very flush, but I haven't had any issues locking that slide back or even letting it go. It's been just fine considering how flush it is, but again, it makes it very snag resistant. And again, you'll notice as we come along here, it's got a very similar takedown method to a Glock. So it's kind of like they've taken some of the best features from the Glock and for some other companies and things like other type of guns, and then kind of incorporated them into what they feel like is a good a good gun. So moving along, you do have a pick rail right here, so you can attach your lights on here. So it's nice that it does come with that, and it's not proprietary, anything like that, which is very nice. Moving up to the slides, you'll also notice we've got some front and back serrations. They're very chunky, very easy to get a grip of, very nice indeed. And then moving up to the top here, we've got some 3-dot white sights. They're illuminated, so like if you, like a watch, if you get some, you know, light on there and then it goes dark, you can see these for a little while. That's the same thing. So if you get, you know, if you're carrying this, if this is out during the day or you've shown some light on these and then you go to dark, you can actually see these. They will shine a little bit green in the dark for you. So they're not quite night sights, but they're better than nothing. I do believe these are proprietary sights. Don't quote me, but I think they are. So you might have some trouble finding sights for these, because the aftermarket parts for this gun isn't huge, but it's not bad. Now, to take this gun down, it's pretty similar to a Glock. You're going to obviously make sure that you are empty, which we are, and you do need to have that trigger cocked. So you're going to rotate your hand just like a Glock, pull that back, pull down on the tabs on either side here, and then you're actually going to pull the trigger. Hence, you're going to want to make sure you are definitely unloaded to take that apart. Now, if this looks familiar to a Glock, let me show you a comparison. All right, so this is my Glock 19 Gen 5 frame on the left here, and this is the Stoeger STR-9. Looks very, very, very similar. The Stoeger STR-9 is actually just a smidge longer than the Glock 19 and a little wider than the Glock 19, just to give you a size comparison. Then we have the slide in here, and we do have a captured guide rod and spring right there, and it is metal. And then we have a barrel. It's 4.17 inches, I believe, if I remember correctly. There's your barrel. And here is your slide. Again, looks very similar to the inside of a Glock slide, but I guess most of these kind of type of firearms do. Fit and finish is not too bad at all, especially at that price point. And that's how you do your basic field assembly on this gun. Now, okay, so let's talk about taking the back strap off. As I said, in the back here, there's a little piece right here with a groove. It might be very hard to see on camera. I'll show you more when it comes out. You just get your screwdriver in there, that little groove, and then you're just going to push up, get your fingernail on there, and pull this little tab out. Get this closer so you can see it. There's that little groove I was saying you put your screwdriver into, and then you can just take your back strap off, maybe. All right, then it has a little tab up here that sits in the top to secure that top piece, and then that pin goes in the bottom. Again, and so it's very easy to change these out. I kind of like this system, it makes them pretty secure. Put that back in, and then get your little tab piece. Now make sure that you've got that little groove right there sitting at the top. And then you just slide that back in like so, and your grip is back into place. Very easy to do. All right, and we are back together. So let's talk about shooting this gun. I am only about 225 rounds to this gun. I've had zero problems with it. So obviously it's more of a initial review of this gun, but so far so good. Zero problems with it. I was mostly running 115 grain ball ammo through it. I've had no problems. It definitely feels like I'm shooting a Glock. That's probably the kind of shooting experience. I do feel like I'm shooting a Glock. These are imported from Turkey. They're made in Turkey and they import them. It does have a 5-year warranty on them. Dislikes about the gun. There's no real dislikes really about the firearm. Again, the texture in here is maybe a little aggressive, and that's been really nitpicky. Oh, it does have, sorry, I did forget, in the top right here on the slide, there is a loaded round chamber indicator right here. So when there's a round in there, this little piece will pop up just right at the top here. It'll stick up just a little bit so you can feel it and then you don't have to, you know, check. You can press check, you can just feel at the top there and see if there's a round in that chamber. So that's a nice feature. Also, one of the things I don't like about it is the mags. It's not even the mag I don't like, it's the cost. These are proprietary mags, and they're going to set you back about $35 a mag. And as I say, this particular base model only comes with one, and at the very minimum, if you're going to use this gun for home defense, you're going to want at least minimum of another mag. Okay, so it's going to set you back another $35 for another mag. Again, I feel like Stoeger has done a good job of kind of pulling in parts from different guns. Like, again, like it's very similar to a Glock, but they've got the VP9 kind of grip at the front here. You've got the kind of the M&P at the back. So they did a good job. I just wish, you know, I feel like these would be a lot more popular if it accepted Glock mags. But it is what it is. And for the price point of $200, I think this is a really good price, because realistically, how many guns are in that $200 price range that you'd be willing to trust your life with? For $200, I would confidently say, from what I've seen, this is probably the best gun in the market for that price point. Again, I have no real complaints about it. It shoots fine for me. The overall size is good. Just, again, I wish the mags were a little cheaper or accepted Glock mags. I think this would have been, you wouldn't be able to keep this gun on the shelves if it took Glock mags. But very decent gun for the price. If you have a Stoeger STR-9 and you've put through, you know, obviously more rounds than me, let me know how it's doing. Like, I'm very curious, you know, if you're a 1,000 round cert, if you've had any problems or anything like that. My experience from this gun has been pretty decent. Again, no complaints, and for the price point, it's been good. So, all right, folks, the best gun in the market for $200, Stoeger STR-9. Thanks, everybody. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. It doesn't cost you a dime. And that's it from me. Until next time, we'll catch you later.